for free. But you can give them to the birds and bees. I want money.
You must recognise that the oil tanker drivers have been in dispute since the 5th of January. And there's very little fuel left.
That's what I want. Your love gives me such a thrill. But your love won't pay my bills. I want money. That's what I want. That's what I want. That's what I want.
Do you not like drinking with women?
No, not in the public bar, love, no. I wouldn't even bring away from you.
Is it just this bar or any bar?
Any bar.
Why did you not serve her?
It is the custom in this house, under instructions from the boss, that no ladies were to be served in the public bar.
Were you aware of the Sex Discrimination Act of 1976?
No.
They shouldn't be in it if it's a man's bar. That's my opinion.
Should they be in this bar?
Hey?
Should they be in this bar?
Bar there for women.
Do you not like drinking with women?
No. No, definitely not.
Can you do without women anywhere else?
Yep.
In 1975, a murder no longer made front-page headlines. So, to grab those headlines, a more spectacular, more sensational, a more brutal factor had to be found. And the Shankill butchers found just that very factor.
You're the sports personality this year, Barry. How does that feel?
Feels great because I didn't expect it at all. It has come as a great surprise to me.
Well, I see that the cut over your eyes healing quite well that you got in the senior championships. When do you think that you'll be able to box again?
Well, if the doctor allows me, I should be able to fight in the Irish senior championships.
Jim would like to take this opportunity of congratulating the blanket man.
Why did you decide to go on the blanket in the first place?
I decided to go on the blanket in the first place just because I refuse to accept Roy Mission's criminalisation policy. I am a political prisoner and demanded to be treated as such, which I have stated from the minute I went on the blanket.
If you can visualize a scene where there's a car containing an unexploded bomb, the ATO is moving forward, has his robot in position, there's a deathly silence, and suddenly onto the scene strays a little 7-year-old girl. Now one of these chaps sprinted all of 70 yards. By the time he reached that girl, she was stiff with terror. He collected her in his arms and he took her to safety. That is the sort of example of the courage of the men who are here today.
And that particular officer was awarded the Queen's Medal for Gallantry, is that right?
Yes, indeed.
Hit me with your rhythm stick. Hit me, hit me. Je t'adore, ich liebe dich. Hit me, hit me, hit me. Hit me with your rhythm stick. Hit me slowly, hit me quick. Hit me, hit me, hit me.
I will defend the honour of the RUC and its courageous name therein at all times, but I cannot condone the action of a few, however misguided they may be or acting under orders, who besmirch the name of the finest force in Western Europe.
There was no systematic ill-treatment of prisoners. no policy directing such a system. In my view, the report bears out that contention.
We had just got into the ambassador's car, and I was sitting next to him in the back seat when the attack took place.
We're not having any bargaining here of any kind, and in the context of voting, we're not having any discussions.
You got my number. Why don't you use it?
Well, the issue is basically H-block. And depending on what result I get this afternoon, that'll completely decide what I do.
Have either of the main parties been in touch with you?
I have had talks with some of the Labour folk.
Have the Conservatives been in touch with you as well?
Absolutely not.
Not?
Not at all. Thank you.
Thank you. A lot of people, Mr. Maguire, find it rather hard to understand why it was that you travelled to Westminster to abstain in the vote of confidence.
Well, what type of people are you referring to?
Well, a lot of people across the water can't understand
yes,
why...
Yes, that's our problem, is to stay across the water and quit interfering with us here. We would have a lot better.
Got this in pocket. Gunpowder. I'm gonna use it.
One of the first results of today's decision by the Irish Central Bank to suspend dealing in the pound sterling is that banks north of the border have had to suspend dealing in the punt. So today, for the first time in 150 years, the two currencies are no longer virtually interchangeable in Northern Ireland. Because whilst the Irish punt isn't strictly speaking legal tender here, it has become, as a matter of practice, acceptable tender.
Ladies, it's nice to see you all. Nice to see you all. You're all looking well.
The young man by Dr. Paisley's side is the candidate of the Democratic Unionist Party. A deputy mayor and veteran of the Save Ulster from Sodomy campaign, Peter Robinson stands for the return of a Protestant-dominated local government, the restoration of capital punishment, and a sealing of the border with the Irish Republic.
Well, in this constituency, there is only one non-power sharing candidate, and that is myself. All the other candidates have at one time or the other supported power sharing of one type or the other.
In this heartland of working-class unionism, there was a time, a few years ago now, when a Catholic would literally only have been seen dead in these streets. But now there is a Catholic candidate who may well take advantage of the splits in unionism.
It's about the new politics of working together,
working as one community, as against the old politics which divided this community down the middle and which has proved such a disaster.
The Prime Minister, as he leaves to enter his official car to go to see Her Majesty the Queen and to tender his resignation.
Don't start the talking. I could talk all night. My mind was sleepwalking while I'm putting the world to right. Call careers information. Have you got yourself an occupation? Oliver's always here to stay. Oliver's always on their way. And I would rather be anywhere else but
Craig William, official unionist, 15,930. Napier Oliver Alliance. John, 15,066. Robinson Peter, 15,994.
Paisley wins by 66.
Were you confident during the campaign that you'd be able to stop the
I
official
was
unionists maintaining their hold on the seat?
I was confident of my people, so I did. The confident of the people, the ordinary people, and of course the workers that I had. The victory is theirs, not mine.
We had murdered Mary Neve because he was a militarist. He was, in fact, Margaret Thatcher's principal advisor on security. We took the decision to switch our emphasis to Mr. Neve when it became obvious that there would be a Tory government.
Baby, baby, what can I do? You know you drive me crazy when I'm looking at you. The summer's really here and it's time to come out. Time to discover what fun is about. Here comes the summer. Here comes the summer. Here comes the summer.
You do see a group spirit in the faces of the people going along, and the bandmasters, if that's what they're called, the drum majors, are doing almost incredible things with the batons which they throw up.
Here comes the summer. Here comes the summer.
William of Orange did what Joshua did, so we support the action of William of Orange.
Young man, there's no need to feel down. I said, young man, pick yourself off the ground. I said, young man, 'cause you're in a new town. There's no need to be unhappy. Young man, there's a place you can go. I said, young man, when you're short on your dough, you can stay there. And I'm sure you will find many ways to have a good time. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA.
Hello, this is Caroline. Can I help you?
There's no reason to believe that the majority of opinion here is that antagonistic. It is effectively people who are frightened of the local ayatollahs.
The Lord save us from ever conforming our laws to the nations of Europe. That would be a tragedy where you have prostitution run as a business. I started to set up last night a committee of Protestant people, citizens of Ulster, who are against the Pope's visit. That has got to be organised. We've got also to start an intensive campaign of stating our reasons why we oppose his visit.
He is speaking, first of all, as a Protestant leader, and then he goes on to speak as an elected representative. And he is, I think, attempting to dictate to the British government, to the Foreign Office, not to allow the Pope to visit Northern Ireland.
You'll burn the street, you'll burn your houses with anxiety, with anxiety. Babylon's burning, Babylon's burning with anxiety. Babylon's burning, Babylon's burning.
The streets to the barrier, and this is our means.
With anxiety, Babylon's burning, Babylon's burning with anxiety. Babylon's burning, Babylon's burning, Babylon's burning, baby, can't you see? Babylon is burning with anxiety.
More and more, the police are venturing into what for them were once no-go areas. The B specials have long been disbanded, and over the riot-strewn years, the police have acquired a more acceptable face.
Six men died in the lorry explosion. The others were victims of the second blast as they tried to help. And the soldiers say they were also raked with gunfire from the Republic 200 yards away. On that riverbank, another man died from gunshot wounds and a second was wounded. But police in the Republic say they were innocent tourists. This was one of the most subtly planned traps the IRA has ever sprung, and unexpected in that it occurred on a wide dual carriageway road.
The players I've spoken to, almost all of them, their man want an All-Ireland team. So why don't we have one? And it's because of, if it's because selectors or some old fuddy-duddies want a couple of free trips a year and they think they're going to lose it. As I say, I think it's criminal that the players shouldn't be given a chance to get together and play in an All-Ireland team, because I can't see any way that they wouldn't qualify for almost all the World Cups.
sound of the suburbs. This is the sound of the suburbs. Every lousy Monday morning, Heathrow jets go crashing on the road.
The Daly family, have they arrived yet? That's about time.
Won't leave me alone. Johnny stands there at his window looking at the night. I said, hey, what you listening to? There's nothing there.
As I stand on the ground where you stood, and I walk in your footsteps, I imagine the way that you felt and the thoughts you were thinking. Could you see my face in the crowd?
Bishop from overseas will meet him. That's Bishop Casey, who was well known in London when he worked for Shelter. He's now the Bishop of Galway. We'll be seeing him later in the week.
An earthquake is erupting, but not in Orange Street. A ghost dance is preparing. You got to help us with your feet. If you're not in the mood to dance, step back, grab yourself a seat. This may not be uptown Jamaica, but we promise you a treat. Rasta bowl me over with your bogus dance, shuffle me off my feet. Even if I kept on running, I'd never get to Orange Street. There's nothing left to say for the man who said the beat.
Now, I wish to speak to all men and women engaged in violence. I appeal to you in language of passionate pleading. On my knees, I beg you to turn away from the path of violence and to return to the ways of peace.
Would never dream that he would come to Ireland on up to the last few months. But the fact that we've seen him here has done wonders.
Now another 6 hours in the bus home.
We'll suffer that.
I'd like to see them coming there, like, wouldn't it?
Up the Shankill?
Yes, up the Shankill. Yes, anyway, all right. Like, sure, what harm was it at all?
He made a great speech, so he did. He made a great speech. And he told them straight that he was all set for peace. So why not us have it?
The desire of the Irish people is to see an end to all violence. But the mere saying of that is not sufficient. And surely nobody expects that the Pope, by the making of that, expected an immediate cessation.
So now I'm alone. Now I can think for myself about little deals and issues, things that I just don't understand.
Today's attack was the worst for army casualties since Warren Point in August, when 18 soldiers died in 2 explosions. The first Land Rover in the patrol had just passed a culvert when a huge explosion threw the second vehicle 30 yards into a field. The Land Rover was blown to pieces and the 4 soldiers inside were killed instantly. Today's deaths bring to 38 the number of soldiers killed this year.
Love me tender, love me sweet, never let me go. You have made my life complete, and I love you so.
How do women react to you? You're incredibly look-alike.
At the performances, you know, some of them go crazy, you know. I have 2 bodyguards. Not this, you know, bodyguard, I use the word bodyguard, but, you know, when the girls sort of, you know, when they get caught up in the whole charisma of the thing, they tend to lose all sense of, their inhibitions all go, you know.
What do you think of this man here?
He's terrific.
Why?
He's like so much like Elvis, my dad.
Robert Story, Robert Campbell, Richard Glenholmes and Gerald Truitt, all charged with conspiracy to cause an explosion and possession of firearms, were remanded in custody until next Thursday.
Sup up your beer and collect your fakes. There's a row going on down near Slough. Get out your mat and pray to the west. I'll get out mine and pray for myself. Hello, Ray, what a nice day for the Eton Rifles. Eton Rifles. Hello, Ray,
Given to me in Forkhill. Don't you think it looks very nice?
What was your impression of the morale in Forkhill?
Terrific. They were absolutely marvellous. The politicians are doing all they can in conjunction with the security forces. And what I want to say is the security forces are marvellous, and I wanted to come over and see them on Christmas Eve.